Everyone, Mr. Security Awareness checking in again. I know it's been a little bit since we had the last chance to chat, and I wanted to take an opportunity for us to have another conversation. I had a completely different topic that I wanted to discuss this time. However, through the course of some conversations and some situations I had the opportunity to participate in, I became very aware of a theme that was just permeating throughout the entire conversation. And that theme that has just been beating me over the head has been dealing with the subtlety or the lack thereof with security awareness and security focuses within our personal lives and our professional lives. So I know that a lot of organizations and a lot of institutions and individuals put forth the effort to, they put forth the effort to make security and security awareness a really big deal, typically during Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and try to make sure that, we pull out all the stops and, go to the nines to make sure that individuals and organizations are aware of just how much is being done with security and security awareness during these moments. However, I think that security and security awareness require a little bit different approach in order to truly be effective. I'm of the mindset that security awareness should be a subtle yet significant approach throughout the year, throughout every day, throughout every moment that we're operating. So we've heard the recommendations with your personal life to make sure your keys are ready, your cell phone's ready, that individuals know where you're going to be, when you're supposed to be there, when you're traveling, those subtle precautions. We also hear from organizations the various actions and precautions and safety measures they're putting in place in order to protect individuals and the data and the organization physically and logically to make sure that nothing happens that shouldn't happen. However, I think that it goes a little bit deeper than that, and there are a number of individuals who have mentioned this or said something to the same effects, but it's all about the culture. It's about what is ingrained in the everyday actions and thought processes within the organizations or the individual in order to make sure that security is something that is executed within every action, every element, every single day. We know that it is not possible for one person to ultimately change the world in that sense within organizations or by themselves, but they can have a lasting impact in their immediate ecosystem. So all it takes is for one person to have that voiced in order to say, security, we need to make sure that we are in every element, whether it be in the lunchroom cafeterias to make sure that people are washing the floors, to make sure that what floor signs may be present, or even if it's from the cyber piece to make sure that people are taking the necessary precautions with their passwords or their electronic devices, whether it be cell phone or Bluetooth, to make sure that their NFC payment isn't left on inadvertently, those types of things. So I think that we can get really easily caught up with the flash and the fanfare, if you will, with security and say, look at this brand new shiny object, look at this cool thing that we're doing, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take any credit away from that. However, I think that for all the attention that the bells and whistles security generate and garner, we owe it to security in all elements to make sure that every single moment of every single day, we are doing the little things, that will ultimately create that culture that makes security the forefront of the action for an organization going forward, rather than coming in on the tail end trying to clean up messes that could have been avoided, whether it's back to that idea of a spill in the cafeteria or the accidental compromising of an individual's credentials or account because of poor password practices or maintenance practices and not having a password managing system put in place. All of these things can be avoided if we're making sure that we are being that broken record of sorts or that town crier to make sure that the message doesn't ever fall from the forefront of individuals' mind. I personally would rather be considered a broken record around security and security awareness rather than be brought in after the fact to say, well, what can we do now to clean up this mess, or what should we have done in order to prevent it? I'm going to keep on talking until I'm blue in the face to make sure that no one can say that they didn't know or they weren't informed or they didn't know where to go to get that information. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. It may not be the most popular position to take, but I guarantee you that it's going to pay off in the long run. And if we can do anything in order to minimize the possible negative aspects of security incident that took place, then I think we owe it to ourselves as well as our organizations in order to do just that thing. So hopefully this makes some sense. It resonates. I'd love to hear your comments down below. Hopefully you like this and share it, and we'll see what happens with it from here. So until next time.